All right, so we all know how it goes. New year, new goals, but also new excuses on why not to pursue those goals. For the longest time, I put off my goal of starting a podcast because, well, I was intimidated. I wasn't sure how to do anything. I wasn't sure if I wanted to invest the time in doing it, and I certainly didn't want to pay other people to do that stuff for me. Luckily, I came across Spotify for Podcasters, which calmed my nerves as they allowed me to do everything from recording to editing, to scheduling, and even monetizing my podcast from a single place with literally a click of a few buttons. Seriously, how do you think I crank out 3 episodes a week with such ease? Another cool thing is that they allow me to interact with you guys, which gives me awesome ideas for new episodes and feedback on what you like the request to do more video episodes, right? Best of all, they do it for free. So if you're someone that wants to get a podcast started, but perhaps we're a little intimidated like myself, trust me when I say, just go for it and get started today by either downloading the Spotify for Podcasters app or going to www.spotify.com/podcasters. Trust me, you won't regret it. Hey guys, welcome back to the Trading Coach Podcast. Today I'm going to talk about leveraging your trading using other people's money and how to cut down on your path to success. So cutting down on the time it takes for you to go from learning rookie mistake-making trader to consistently profitable trader. Now, if you haven't done so already, make sure you take the 10-episode challenge. Speaking to you guys who are new to the podcast, that means listen to at least 10 episodes of the Trading Coach Podcast before you make judgment and decide if this is something you want to tune into each week for the 3 new episodes, or if it's, hey, not your cup of tea and you want to go somewhere else. Now, the way I recommend it is either by picking 10 random episodes or entering the Trading Coach Podcast on Google or something like that, the trading topic of your choice, and then seeing what comes up. And today's podcast stems from an email I got from a Trading Coach Podcast listener, as well as a new client, well, new/old client that I'm working with. And the email said, Akil, I was watching this video on YouTube and the owner of the channel interviewed a trader who's been trading for over 15 years now, and his story was quite the emotional one. The one thing that stood out to me, though, was that when he talked about taking 10,000 pounds of bank loan and turning it into 3 million in 3 short months, and then, right, proceeding to lose it all. Ouch. But it didn't end there. He went on to then go through this very toxic cycle of borrowing more money and losing it and borrowing it and losing it and borrowing it and losing it over and over again for another 10 years or so. My goodness. I was like, for 10 years, this dude was just in bloody pain and not profitable. I wouldn't have survived it if I were him. Probably would have been buried deep in not just debt, but emotional depression and darkness. I literally had to pause this video and thank God that I have both you and Jason as my coaches. Because of that, I'll never have to go through anything close to this guy's experience ever. I listened to the podcast you did the other day about a former Tier 1 member who took 2 years to learn, test, retest, refine, etc., her process, and never actually go live due to the pain and the fear of blowing the accounts and all the other stuff that crazy go through. It was so inspiring, and it also makes perfect sense to just grow that way faster and much less pain. Talking about having mentorship and whatnot like that. Seriously, I want to say appreciate to you both, Jason and Akil, and the Tier 1 community. Thank you now for my future self. Or thank you now, and my future self thanks you too. And I don't say that, I say that to make it a shameless plug about what we do as coaches, although I love hearing stories like this. But I share this to talk to you guys about a lesson. And one of the things we were talking the other day about on the platform was the trading plan. In fact, I think I put out a podcast, don't know if it's out before this or after this, called The Most Important Part of Your Trading Plan. And we're talking about different aspects of the trading plan and what is the most important part. And one of the aspects of the trading plan is your position sizing strategy, your risk management strategy, your money management strategy, along with kind of your business strategy as well. Like, how are you going to pay yourself? When are you going to take money out? Are you going to leave everything in? When are you going to add money to your account? How are you going to grow it, right? Because the idea is that trading is a tool, right? It is a skill, but it is also a tool. Investing is a tool. And we like to call it a wealth accelerator, meaning that trading in its own right is going to get you wealthy really, really, really quick. There are, only a few things out there aside from, winning the lottery or coming up with some brand new experiment and selling it that are going to make you a lot of money really, really quick, or, a professional athlete making it big. But even in those situations, there's a lot of work that goes up to it, kind of the iceberg thing where you see the peak, which is success, and you don't see all the other stuff that's below it. And the mindset of trading shouldn't be to look at it like, hey, this is this thing that's going to make me money overnight, but sticking with our theme of kind of small things over time equal big things down the road, right? Trading is something that, if done consistently, it is a tool that can produce you profit. And then once you are consistently producing profit, like any other business, you can kind of scale it where you start producing that profit even quicker, and you make more and more and more and more. And before you know it, you're making a massive sum of money. And a good money management strategy will do that for you. It will take, quote unquote, your normal return, and it will 2x it, 3x it, 4x it, and expand it and allow you to grow it at a substantial rate. And that's the part that get everyone fired up, right? If I was a salesman out there, like many of these other, quote unquote, coaches, gurus, traders, whatever you want to call them, that's the main thing I would be selling. Because you take a look at our money management spreadsheet, and I got some videos on this on YouTube, right? You play around with the numbers the right way, right? You can make a lot of money. I've done things before where I was making like 2,000% returns a year. Now, what they don't mention to you is the risk that comes with doing that. Hence the guy in this phone. Unprofessional of me, but this is an unprofessional podcast. That's what you guys love about it. But hence the example of this guy in his story starting with 10,000 pounds and growing it to $1 million and then blowing it all, right? That should never happen. First, growing from 10,000 to 3 million in 3 short months. Come on now, look at the numbers. Blowing it, right? It doesn't surprise you. You go up the mountain fast, you go down the mountain even faster, right? But the idea for money management is to be able to do that in a much safer way, right? So we can sell all that and whatnot, but the truth is, it doesn't make a difference, or it will harm you as much as it can help you if you're not right. So the main goal as a trader, right? You can have all this stuff in the background. It could be a dream, desire, a goal. It could be the carrot that keeps you going, where it's like, hey, once I get to this level, then I can add this stuff and I'll make it awesome. But understand that that tool is pointless unless you can do the first thing, which is become a consistently profitable trader. I was watching a documentary on Quiznos the other day. I don't know if you guys know about it, but Quiznos was a sandwich place here in the US. I'm not sure if it was global, but like your Subways and stuff like that. And it was personally my favorite sandwich because I don't like cold sandwiches, and these were one of the first ones kind of making a warm sandwich at these nice Italian recipes. I loved it. And basically Quiznos is out of business. There's like 5 places left in the country. And the thing was that they just scaled too fast. They got to a point where they had a good product. They didn't have kind of all the things worked out with the franchises. I mean, they didn't really support the franchises and make sure that their franchisees were doing stuff in a way that would allow them to be consistently profitable. And they just scaled way too big, and they scaled with a failing strategy, and they failed even harder. So just like trading, right? If you're not secure in what you're doing trading wise, if you don't have a strategy with an edge, if you don't have a proven track record of executing that edge without error or with minimum error in the market, there's no point of, you can't move on to the next step, which is implementing a money management strategy that's going to make you more money. So it's important that we understand that. And I bring that up because, part of that money management strategy isn't just kind of like how much you increase your position size or whatever like that. It is also using other people's money. I speak to a lot of traders who they get into trading, and one of their biggest fears is that they don't have enough money to make any money. I've had conversations here on the Trading Coach podcast in the past about traders who say, hey, I got to be really, really, really risky in the beginning, right? Because I only have like $100 and I got to multiply that as quickly as possible. And my message to them is like, no, you need to work on good habits, right? Practice good habits, and the same habits that you use trading $100 account should be the same habits that you use trading $100,000 account, right? Because it's all about percentages. The money in your account is pointless. You should be working on, hey, if I can make, if I can end the year with a 40% return, that's an amazing return. And if you can do that with $100 monetarily, it's not going to get you all excited. You're going to be like, yeah, $40, woohoo, right? Right? You're not going to get so excited over it. But understand, if you keep executing that same way consistently, right? All of a sudden, you're going to be making a 40% return off of a $200 account, off of a $1,000 account, off of a $200,000 account, off of a quarter mil account. And all of a sudden, right, you're making 40% on a quarter mil account. That's a big return, but you're literally doing nothing different than you were with that $100 account. So the idea is always to work on developing the skill of trading. Now, if you are someone with that $100 account, obviously it's going to take you a massive amount of time to grow it into a quarter mil. But this is where you can start using other people's money, right? So if you are, again, you got to be secure, you got to be proven, you have to be ready. And it sounds like in this example, the trader wasn't ready, right? 3 months, it sounds like he wasn't ready because either something, I don't know why, I didn't listen to the interview, but something happened in that 3-month period where after he grew it from 10K to 3 mil, something really bad has to happen for you to blow it. Like, that's a lot of money to blow. So there were probably some bad habits there. I don't know what they were, but obviously I would make the assumption that this trader wasn't ready. So you always want to make sure you're ready. Once you are ready and you're secure and you do the math and you know that you can outperform the cost of the loan, and I've done this in many businesses before, and you look at most entrepreneurs, they will do this. They use other people's money to do their thing, right? Now you can start taking out bank loans. Now you can start looking at personal loans or private investors, whatever like that, because not only do the numbers tell you that it is a good business decision, but you have enough confidence and discipline in yourself not to do anything dumb with it and use that money, use that money as a leverage to take your business to the next level versus kind of treating it like a gambler where you're like, oh crap, got to pay this back. Oh no, I blew it all. Now I owe even more, and dig yourself into that hole. And that's something that is very scary and can ruin you for the future. Trust me, you do not want to get into the habit of not being able to pay back loans because that may be the last loan you get. So that's one thing you need to pay attention to. I think it is a good practice to leverage yourself that way for you guys that don't have a lot of money. And you can do it through like prop firms or whatever like that as well. There's many different ways of doing it. But the theme is to make sure that you are in the right place first. The second part, and we'll be short on this part because I don't want it to, I get all weird whenever I talk about mentorship and coaching because it feels like I'm a salesman or something like that. But the truth is, mentorship and coaching helps. I always thought my journey was long because it took me about 2 years to become a consistently profitable trader. And one of those years was after having mentorship because I thought it was enough just to have a mentor, and that once I just signed the paper and wrote the check and for having a mentor that I would automatically be turned around. I didn't realize that you got to, listen to the mentor and follow what the mentor told you and put it into work and all that fun stuff. I thought it was as simple as like, okay, got a mentor, box checked, let's make this money, baby, and it wasn't. But I remember the 2 years of my struggling seemed like forever. And you guys know my story, dark periods, depressing periods, giving up on trading, all that fun stuff, finally made it, exciting. You look back 15 years later and like, man, 2 years was nothing in compared to the 13 years that I was good. But I also spoke to a buddy of mine, Michael Lamott, who, I used to think my story was bad. So I spoke to him and he struggled for 10 years as well. 10 years. And same thing, it wasn't until he stumbled across a trading group and got hooked up with the right people and basically used them as mentors that he started to turn around. So the thing is this, and I bring this up for two reasons. One, if you've been struggling for a very long time in your trading, don't give up, right? Understand there is a way to turn things around. And again, I don't want to sound sleazy or like a salesman or like that, but it is coaching, it is mentorship. It could be paid coaching mentorship, or it could be a buddy of yours that does it for free. But that is going to be the best way to turn it around. And it's going to be the best thing to kind of stop your struggle, whether you've been struggling for 2 years or 10 years. Because here's what coaching and mentorship does. You get to hook up with people like myself who struggled for 2 years and has 13 years of good experience, or Michael who struggled for 10 years and has another, I don't know how long he's been trading, let's say another 10 years of trading. You get to talk and meet people like us who have done all the dumb stuff that you're probably going to do, have met people who have done the dumb stuff that we were going to do, and we've found solutions. So instead of wasting all that time, like fighting around trying to get the answer. We have the answer. Now, our job is to teach you how to get the answer, and you still have to do the work. So if you imagine it like a test, I can give you the answers, but you still got to go and take the test and show the work and earn your way to success. But it's a lot easier than going through it blind. It's a lot easier than taking a test where you don't even know what's on the test and you don't even know how to figure out the solutions to the problem. So one, if you are struggling, don't give up on yourself. There is hope, but most likely it comes with mentorship. Two, if you do get mentorship, don't be like me. Please take that mentorship seriously. It's not as simple as just saying, I have a mentor, or I have someone on Twitter that I ask questions to like that. It's not as simple as that. You still have to put in the work. And if you do, right, you're still going to go through a learning curve. You're still going to have struggles, but the path to success is going to be a lot shorter than the alternative. Hope you guys enjoyed. Told you I hate being a sleazy salesman, but I got to say this since it's on topic. If you want mentorship from us, myself, Jason Greystone, and the community here at Tier 1 Trading, check out our website, www.tier1trading.com. Here's what I recommend doing, right? You want to make sure it's the right fit before you invest anything. So start with the 14-day risk-free trial membership that gets you on the platform. You can download some software, you can take some courses, you can hop in some live sessions, you can chat with the community, and you can get a good feel for what we have to offer, how we teach, how we trade, and you can make sure it's the right fit before you're enrolled or anything like that, right? It's risk-free, so there's no auto bill, you're not automatically put in a course, there's no sneaky stuff like that. Your subscription is just canceled, or your login is just canceled after your 14-day period is up. So check us out, www.tier1trading.com, and start your journey.